Hi everyone, welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Reese.
And today we're talking about some kind of a YouTube thing.
It's a YouTube thing and it kind of is mixed in with some food as well.
Got it.
These are two things that I am in love with.
YouTube and food.
YouTube and food. It's pretty much my whole life.
So I guess you subscribe to a lot of food YouTube channels.
I do. There's one called Epic Mealtime and
I love that one.
They make like the best looking food in the world.
Nice.
And well, today's article is going to be about a very special dish called Hainanese chicken rice.
Yum.
And do you know who wrote this article?
I think this guy did.
It was me.
I think this guy did. Yeah, he wrote it.
So do you watch a lot of YouTube, Kat?
I do. Sometimes I watch like cooking YouTube, although it's like mostly on the baking side of things. And then I watch a lot of like kind of history or like general information, kind of learning, that kind of stuff, or music.
Music, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one channel talking about science and learning. There's one channel called SciShow, which I love.
I've watched SciShow.
Very short videos, but very informative.
Yeah. And for a little bit longer ones, there's one called Cheddar.
Cheddar. I'll look it up.
Like the cheese. Yeah. Anyway, so we're talking about basically a YouTube cooking show.
That's right.
Kind of like Epic Mealtime, but with Hainanese chicken rice, which I think is like a really famous dish. All right. Shall we look at what you cooked up?
Let's read my article.
Reading.
Cooking with Alvin. An introduction to Hainanese chicken rice. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alvin Chan and today we're cooking Hainanese chicken rice. But before we start cooking, let's learn more about this delicacy. Friends, let me tell you, this dish has a colorful history. Hainanese chicken rice is enjoyed all around the world, but particularly in Southeast Asian countries. The dish gets its name from an island in southern China called Hainan. This is where it was first made. People in Singapore love eating chicken rice so much that they made it their national dish. However, Malaysians claim that chicken rice was their own creation. The original recipe for Hainanese chicken rice used smaller chickens with more bones. Today, most people use bigger and more tender ones. The dish was made super popular internationally because famous TV cooks like Gordon Ramsay often talk it up. Well then, are you eager to make your own delicious Hainanese chicken rice? Okay, I'm about to show you how. And if you need to review the recipe later, you can find it by clicking the link below the video.
Okay, so let's get into the article. At the beginning of the article, we are going to meet the guy who is making this video on YouTube.
Okay.
So it begins with, "Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alvin Chan, and today we're cooking Hainanese chicken rice." Now, I know that, Kat, you're a vegetarian, so maybe you haven't eaten Hainanese chicken rice.
Maybe sometime in my life, but not since I've gone vegetarian, no.
Right. I've had it, and it's pretty tasty, and it's a very famous dish, and it's where the chicken is really, really juicy, and just, it comes with all these different sauces. It's so good.
That sounds really nice. Yeah. Maybe I'll try a vegetarian version sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure there is somewhere in the world.
Of course.
Well, we have our first vocabulary word here, and it's the word channel. So channel is a noun, and the word channel was originally used to talk about frequencies like radio waves. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, like what your phone uses, but originally they were used by radio and TV. But more recently, it has been used on the internet. So when Alvin says, "Welcome back to my channel," he's talking about his YouTube channel, the place on YouTube where he posts all of his videos. So an example sentence with channel would be, "My friend's YouTube channel has over 1 million fans."
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. You can make some good money with that number.
Oh yeah, you probably could. Yeah, if you have 1 million or more, you can probably, make your daily living.
That's right, just for making YouTube videos. It's
great.
Yeah,
but it's hard to get there.
It is.
All right. So anyway, before we get into, how hard it is to be a YouTuber, let's talk about cooking. And then the article even says, but before we start cooking, let's learn more about this delicacy. Ooh. So a delicacy, this is a word that we love. A delicacy is a word for a choice or expensive kind of food, usually one that's known for being from a certain place. For example, sushi is a Japanese delicacy, or soup dumplings, I think you could say, are Taiwanese delicacy from Din Tai Fung or Gaoji or something like that. Caviar, which is like the fish eggs, like the really expensive fish eggs that you serve on bread, that's a delicacy too. Yeah.
I think in the UK a delicacy could be maybe beef Wellington.
Oh yeah. I think maybe the US would have something probably derived from a different culture, like an Italian delicacy or something like that, because we have mostly immigrants. Yeah. Anyway, so friends, let me tell you, this dish has a colorful history.
What does that mean?
So it sounds like maybe, if you have a colorful history, it would mean that there was something very interesting about your past.
Right.
And that, when you tell that story, people are like, wow, that's really has a lot of action and a lot of interesting parts to it. So it's not just like, oh, this one guy made it and now it's here.
Right.
So there was more parts to it.
There's probably more of an interesting story, which I think we can find out about. So the article continues and it says, Hainanese chicken rice is enjoyed all around the world, but particularly in Southeast Asian countries.
That makes sense.
Okay, so Southeast Asian countries are countries in the southeast of Asia.
Yeah.
Right? So for example, the Philippines.
Yeah.
Indonesia.
Singapore,
Malaysia.
yes.
Thailand.
Thailand, Laos, all those guys. Do you think Hainan is also Southeast Asian?
So I think China as a whole country is considered as East Asia,
Yes.
but Hainan is an island that is in the south of
The very
Taiwan,
south.
and so it's kind of in the
south of China.
area of Southeast Asia.
Yeah. It's kind of close to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we have. And so I guess we'll learn about this history a little bit more after our cut.
So we have another word to talk about here, and it's the word particularly. Particularly is an adverb, and we can use it to put emphasis on one thing over other things. That means we talk about one thing being more than the others. We highlight it as special for some reason. We can also use it to say that something is more or to a higher degree than usual. So today is a particularly hot day. That means it's really hot, hotter than usual. So an example sentence using particularly would be, traveling around Taiwan was fun, but I particularly liked Tainan.
All right, so it sounds like this is popular in a lot of different places, particularly Southeast Asia, but more than Southeast
I think
Asia.
you could probably find it in most countries. Actually.
Yeah. All right, so the article says something that we kind of already talked about, but the dish gets its name from an island in southern China called Hainan. Now, when we say southern China, that's a little bit different than South China. So southern is an adjective, whereas south can be a noun. So you can say the South alone, or you can say as an adjective with another name. So South usually talks about precise areas. For example, South America, which is a whole continent, versus North America, the whole continent. When you say Southern, it means more of like a broad idea. It describes a vague area that's not legally named like that, like the Southern US and the Northern US. It's kind of whoever's idea of the Southern US might be different from another person's. So you could say that Southern kind of means the south part of. So it's the same with Northern, Eastern, Western. Also, note the pronunciation. It's not Southern. A lot of people I know here say Southern. So that should be Southern, like cut, that vowel. So Southern. All right. So example sentence for Southern might be, I have family that live in Southern California. So probably around LA, San Diego, could be anywhere in the south part of California.
Right, so it's not so specific.
No.
It's just a general area in the south of California.
Yeah, so if you were going to say South California, that actually sounds like a state name. Yeah, you wouldn't say that.
Well, the article will continue here, and it says, this is where it was first made, talking about Hainan. People in Singapore love eating chicken rice so much that they made it their national dish.
Ooh,
okay, so a
very
national
nice.
dish. I think most countries have an official or unofficial national dish. Do you know what the US's national dish might be?
I think everybody probably says it's hamburgers. Yeah.
I do love a hamburger.
Yeah, I think if I think of the UK, it might be fish and chips.
You would
Or
think
tea.
so, but actually, it's not fish and chips.
What is it?
The national dish of the UK, surprisingly, is chicken tikka masala.
What?
Yes.
That's not even British.
Well, actually, according to my research, obviously curry came from India to the UK, but the specific flavour of chicken tikka masala was developed in Scotland in the north of the UK.
Presumably by Indian Scots.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, that's probably,
And then we loved it so much that we made it our national dish.
Okay.
Kind of strange, a colourful history.
That's interesting. I wonder if they eat chicken tikka masala in India.
I think they don't. Yeah,
Okay, so it's pretty much a British thing.
Yeah, so a national dish is kind of a special kind of food that you would really associate with one place.
Okay. All right, so the article goes on to say, however, Malaysians claim that chicken rice was their own creation. So actually, people from Malaysia say that it wasn't in Hainan that they made chicken rice first. It was in Malaysia. Okay.
Even though it still has the name Hainanese chicken rice.
But they don't call it Malaysian chicken rice.
Right, yeah. Oh, it's very strange.
That is interesting.
Well, we have the word claim here, which is used as a verb, and it means to say that something is true. This is the way it is because I'm claiming it is. So when we use the word claim to describe what somebody else has said, it might mean that there are many people that disagree with what they say, as it's just a claim.
So they can't prove it.
They can't prove it, it's a claim.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the case of the article, Malaysians claim that chicken rice was invented by them, but some other countries might disagree. They might claim that it is theirs too. What's the truth? I don't really know. I didn't claim to know everything about Hainanese chicken rice.
Right, of course. Yeah, if you did, you'd probably be, somebody from Hainan.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, an example sentence using claim would be, the man claimed that the camera was his, but he had no proof that it belonged to him.
Okay, so Malaysians claim it's from there. People from Hainan probably claim it's from there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they say it's their own creation. Now, creation is another one of these vocabulary words. It's something that you make from your own skills or from your own mind. It's original. You created it, which is the verb of creation. And you didn't use something to copy or imitate something else to make this thing. It could be inspired by other things, but mostly the idea is yours. That's your creation.
Yeah, you created it.
Yeah.
I like that word, yeah.
All right. So the original recipe for Hainanese chicken rice used smaller chickens with more bones. Interesting.
So it's indicating here that the original recipe used that, so maybe there's a newer, more modern recipe that's a bit different.
Probably. I think chickens are bigger now in general, so it might be something to do with that. But first, let's learn about what a recipe actually is. When we talk about a recipe, it's usually the directions and steps plus the ingredients for how to cook or make some kind of food, or something food-like, something you could make in your kitchen. So cookbooks have recipes. If you can cook something good without a recipe though, you're probably a great cook because you really know how to make food and do things with food without looking at some directions. So in a recipe, you'll often see like a list of the foods you need, and then it'll tell you how to cook it step by step. So that's a good recipe. So let's find out more about the recipe for Hainanese chicken after we get back with Reese.
Ooh, I'm not a very good cook, so I definitely need a recipe when I'm making food.
I think for something like this, I would probably need a recipe too. Yeah, it would be too complicated without one.
Well, the article continues and it says, today most people use bigger and more tender ones. They're talking about chickens here.
Ah, right. Okay.
Okay, so the word tender was used. Now, tender is an adjective that can be used in two very different ways. So a person who is described as tender is gentle and kind and affectionate. A very soft and nice person. It's a really nice adjective to use to describe a person.
Yeah, or like a relationship between two people. They have a tender friendship.
Yeah.
They love each other so much.
It's nice.
Yeah.
But in the article, they are not using tender to talk about a person, they are using it to talk about chicken. So when we're talking about food, tender is an adjective we use to describe meat that is soft and easy to cut or chew. It is not tough. So meat is usually better served tender. Yeah, soft. So an example sentence using tender would be, this restaurant only uses the most tender meat to make their burgers.
So it probably melts in your mouth, you could say.
Yeah. Chewy, tough meat is not really very good.
No, I mean, you know, when you eat a steak, usually it's not very tender, but you cut it into small bits and then it's fine.
And Hainanese chicken rice is famous for being very, very tender.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the article then continues and it says, the dish was made super popular internationally because famous TV cooks like Gordon Ramsay often talk it up.
I know who that is.
You do?
He's one of the most famous TV chefs. I think just about anybody could know who he is.
Yeah.
He's got the really light blonde hair. He's usually kind of red faced.
Yep, and he's often very angry.
Yeah, on what is the show?
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. Oh my God, I would not want him to be my boss.
Yeah, I would not recommend our viewers watching him because sometimes he gets very angry and uses some bad words.
Although there are some shows where he teaches kid chefs and he's actually very nice to them.
Right.
So, so he's only mean with adults.
Yeah, he's originally from the UK as well, so he's a very good cook.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why he's so famous. So, and when he talks something up, that's why people listen. Now, to talk something up means to talk about something, in this case, that chicken dish, in a way that really promotes it and makes people curious or excited or interested in it and really want to know more about it or to experience it. So, like, when I go back to the US and I visit my family, I always talk up Taiwan because Taiwan is awesome and not enough people know enough about it.
It's true.
Honestly, foreigners love to talk up Taiwan, I think.
They do, yeah. It's an amazing place and
course.
it deserves to be talked up.
Yeah. So talking up Hainanese chicken rice, of course, is a very, means it's probably a really good dish, especially if a chef is talking it up. All right. So now we're actually getting to the part we're going to cook. Well then, are you eager to make your own delicious Hainanese chicken rice? Okay, I'm about to show you how. Not me personally, Alvin. Yeah.
Well, looks like we've got a word to talk about here, and the word is eager. Let's see.
When we say somebody is eager to do something, this is an adjective that means they're excited. They want to do something or see something very badly. They're so ready to go. They're ready to do it. They're like, come on, let's go. That's being eager, or having, as the noun would be, eagerness, if you add that ness suffix. We also call somebody something that's kind of a cute phrase, an eager beaver. If somebody calls you an eager beaver, it means you are really excited about doing something and almost look very silly because you're so excited. So when somebody asks you, are you eager to make this recipe? Are you eager to cook? It means, are you ready? Do you want to cook? Are you excited? That's what eager means. Now, an example sentence might be, everybody was eager to finish class and eat lunch. Of course, everybody's gonna feel like they really want to go to lunch. All right, so I guess we're gonna make some Hainanese chicken rice!
I'm very eager to do so.
Eager. Yep.
Right, well, the article continues and it says, and if you need to review the recipe later, you can find it by clicking the link below the video.
Of course. Okay. Every YouTuber has this.
Yes.
Yep.
Put the video link in the description and then you can advertise and get money and redirect people. Yeah, it's all a very complicated thing doing YouTube well.
It's a job.
It is a job, especially if you've got a lot of fans. They expect you to make videos like every day or every week. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now that we've got that call to action, now that we're actually gonna cook, we're gonna stop Because that's the end of day one.
Oh, what a letdown. But hopefully tomorrow we can learn a bit more about how to cook this delicious meal.
Yeah, we can. But now we're going to actually go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
Okay, our chat question for today. Do you know what the national dish of your country is? We already kind of said that. If you could choose a national dish for your country, what would you choose?
Well, that's a very different question.
Yes, it is.
Because I do love chicken tikka masala, which, if you didn't know, it's a kind of curry using chicken and it's got tomato and onion flavor. It's delicious.
Yeah.
But I think a better representation of Britain or the UK would be the one that you suggested.
Fish and chips?
Fish and chips. Or a Sunday roast dinner.
Oh, yeah, that would be that sounds
You've
very
got
British.
Roast
for sure.
potatoes, vegetables, Yorkshire puddings, which are kind of fried, roasted batter, and then you've got stuffing. There's just everything that you need to have a healthy meal, and it's a lot of food, and it's delicious.
Nice. I think if I could choose a national dish for the US, maybe... I mean, I think everybody thinks of the big US staple as steak and potatoes. So maybe something like that. So like a really nice T-bone steak and then mashed potatoes with gravy and some vegetables like maybe Brussels sprouts. Those are good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said earlier, the US seems to have quite a mix of different culture food, right?
Or Thanksgiving meal.
Yes.
The Thanksgiving turkey, the cranberry sauce, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our national meal in the US. That's the one.
Kind of similar to a roast dinner, like it's meat, potatoes.
Except that it's, 3 times as big.
Yes. And you've got the pie.
Oh, the pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie sometimes.
Delicious.
Yeah. The US loves pie. We love pie.
So if you could choose a national dish for your own country, what would you choose?
Taiwan has a lot of great food. And so I think it'd be kind of hard to choose one that's like really a standout because they're all so good. But anyway, that's all the time we have. And you guys can think on this question. I'm sure you can talk about it long time because food is everybody's favorite thing.
Love it.
Yep. All right. We'll see you tomorrow for the actual recipe for Hainanese chicken rice. Bye-bye.
Cooking with Alvin. An introduction to Hainanese chicken rice. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alvin Shan, and today we're cooking Hainanese chicken rice. But before we start cooking, let's learn more about this delicacy. Friends, let me tell you, this dish has a colorful history. Hainanese chicken rice is enjoyed all around the world, but particularly in Southeast Asian countries. The dish gets its name from an island in southern China called Hainan. This is where it was first made. People in Singapore love eating chicken rice so much that they made it their national dish. However, Malaysians claim that chicken rice was their own creation. The original recipe for Hainanese chicken rice used smaller chickens with more bones. Today, most people use bigger and more tender ones. The dish was made super popular internationally because famous TV cooks like Gordon Ramsay often talk it up. Well then, are you eager to make your own delicious Hainanese chicken rice? Okay, I'm about to show you how. And if you need to review the recipe later, you can find it by clicking the link below the video.
Vocabulary Review.
Channel. When her favorite TV show ended, Freya changed the channel to watch the 10 o'clock news. Particularly. Jarvis loves eating fruit. He particularly loves pineapple for its bright color and sweet taste. Southern. Many people in Taiwan's southern cities, like Kaohsiung and Tainan, speak Taiwanese at home with their families. Claim. Martha claims she knows Jay Cho well, but I think she only met him briefly. Tender. The meat was cooked until it was so tender that it easily came off the bone. Eager. When the teacher asked the students if they would like to play outside, they gave eager nods.
智慧小补帖
Delicacy. Creation. Recipe.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net